Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Udelvi Hill, Communications Director with the City of Las Cruces Public Information Office, and I want to welcome you all here to Mayor Ken Miyagishima's 2018 State of the City Address. And to begin, it's my pleasure to introduce Singing Out Las Cruces.
It's a pretty tough act to follow. So we're going to have some of them joining us, and those that are not retired will probably go back to work. So unfortunately, thanks for showing up here today. Okay, well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here. It's an honor to speak to you today. First of all, welcome. Bienvenidos todos. As always, I want to express my deep appreciation to my colleagues on the City Council, to my fellow citizens in attendance, as well as those who are watching at home. I especially want to welcome and thank my wife and First Lady, Rosie Miyagishima, for your love, support, and inspiration. And I'm also have a special guest. In fact, he's retiring from the state, and that's my brother and my sister-in-law, my brother Bob, and my sister-in-law Mauda. So thanks for joining us today. So he may be a regular fixture here, I guess. So, well, as many of you know, my father passed away recently, which was a big loss for me and our family. And during his final weeks, we experienced the careful attention of nurses and doctors, the closeness of loved ones, and the concern and best wishes of all of you with whom we've shared our lives with over so many years. And I have to tell you, the pouring of support has just been incredible. I promise I have a lot of thank you cards to write, and I'll get to them. But thank you so much for each and every one of you, all your your concerns and condolences. As most of you know, we also lost former City Councilor Olga Pedrosa. Olga was a true champion for the people of our community, a hardworking counselor, and a friend who is deeply mourned by all who knew her. We find it hard to believe that she too is gone. It's at times like this that we turn to music for inspiration and solace, and I want to thank the Singing Out Choir for their wonderful performance today. We really appreciate you all being here today. Not long ago, Rosie and I had the privilege of attending the choir's winter concert, and the songs that they just sang are from all over the world. In fact, what you heard were two of my favorite. And it just reminds us of something closer to home and the power of community in shaping and giving meaning to our lives. As the notes on the song sheets indicate, hopefully some of you received, one of the songs of the meaning, Ubuntu, which is the title of the second song, says that a person is a person through other people. Now, this may seem a strange formulation, especially when our own culture puts so much emphasis on the individual, but it has powerful implications for us as a community and for the relationship that we have as a city and the people that we serve. Clearly, some of our residents just want to be left alone, pursuing their particular goals and paths through life with little interaction as possible. We are reminded, though, that this independence takes form and is enacted within a larger community and within a structure created and maintained by countless others. Streets are built, sewer lines are repaired, trash is picked up, and our community's children are educated to be respectful neighbors and daily contributors to our lives. We pursue our individual dreams with confidence that clean water will flow from our faucets, that we will live safely within our homes and neighborhoods, and that our police officers and firefighters will respond quickly and with the courage when emergencies occur. In all of these ways, our individual paths through life are facilitated by the support of others, whoever we are and whatever we hope to be. At the same time, there's so much more to a great community than essential services. Many of you have heard about blue zones, regions in the world where people live longer than the average lives with a higher level of reported well-being. Studies reveal that blue zone communities share certain characteristics, including regular physical activity as part of their daily life, the opportunity to interact with one another, and the residents have a sense of purpose in their lives. We have come to similar understandings in our own evolution as a city. One result has been our commitment to a vibrant downtown, with restaurants and brew pubs and a lively mixture of museums, galleries, and shops. Our new Civic Plaza has already become the go-to place for rallies and public outings, from food trucks to nights out with law enforcement and firefighters, to celebrating our Aggies' recent victory at the Arizona Bowl. Yeah. Every time you guys clap, it gives me a chance to grab some water, so I appreciate that. This downtown core is complemented by the other areas around the city, parks and ball fields and shopping areas, the university, and our community college campuses, wherever people gather to work, study, to play, and enjoy community life. These public areas are in turn connected with one another by well-planned transit corridors with access to public transportation, safe sidewalks, and a rapidly growing network of trails for walking and biking. We love our cars, but getting outside with others is an important part of staying healthy and connected with other people. This is especially important for our children, and I commend our Complete Streets and Safe Routes to School initiatives for giving all of us to be more active and engaged in our daily life. A particularly exciting initiative we've undertaken in cooperation with the Las Cruces Public Schools is our community school program, in which local schools become neighborhood hubs for education, recreation, and community throughout our city. I would like for you to join me in recognizing School Board President Ed Frank, Vice President Terry Dahlman, Board Member Ray Jaramillo, and Deputy Superintendent Gabe Hawkes for joining us here today. I want to thank you for your work on our community schools, and congratulations on the large number of people supporting the recent school bond issue. It shows confidence that we have in your leadership and the importance of the work that you all do. There's much to be proud as we move through the city, an increasingly beautiful and active downtown, a new public safety complex in the Sonoma Ranch area, the orange barrels that come with the largest street maintenance and repair initiative in the city's history. Underlying all of this, of course, has been solid attention to the nuts and bolts of efficient administration. Process isn't always the most interesting of topics, but it makes possible everything that we do. In every State of the City address, I make sure to mention, because it's important, the key role that good financial stewardship has played in our success. I'm grateful to the City Council and staff for your careful management of available resources, and we especially appreciate over the last year the leadership in this area by City Manager Stuart Eade and his administrative team. All that has been accomplished during the last decade, including getting through a severe national economic crisis, has been accomplished efficiently and within projected budgets, all while maintaining twice the financial reserve that's required by the state. Good administration and careful management of taxpayer resources are easy to take for granted, but they require discipline and steady reinvestment as opportunities emerge. One of these opportunities has come in the form of falling prices for renewable energy. In the last year and a half, the city has added over 1 megawatt of solar panels to our city buildings. Now you wonder, how much is 1 megawatt? And if my friend from El Paso Electric, Rico Gonzalez, was here, he knows that I always ask him, translate that into a number of hair dryers. But I don't know, it's a lot of hair dryers. So we saved a lot of power, a lot of monies to the resident. I would also like to continue this process until we finally and virtually use all of our electrical needs through energy efficiency, time use of rates, and renewable resources. Besides saving taxpayer money, we also want to play a leadership role in our region's transition to renewable energy, creating high-paying jobs and solid careers for local workers. Energy costs are a concern not just for city government, but for households and businesses alike. City intervention in rate cases and related filings involving El Paso Electric have been an important factor in making these costs more affordable for area residents. It's important to understand that these rate hearings brought before the Public Regulation Commission are adversarial in nature, which means that the cost increases must be contested in order for their reasonableness to be fully examined by the commission. For many years, the city has intervened in rate hearings on its own behalf, contesting rate increases for streetlights and other uses of electricity in city operations. 3 years ago, the City Council made an important decision to intervene on behalf of all of our residents, which resulted in, beginning in 2015, in a savings of $7.5 million. That's a year. These reoccurring savings, which means over a 10-year period, will amount to over $75 million. That's a tremendous amount of savings. In fact, last year, El Paso Electric also said that they were going to delay a rate hike for the next 2 years. So that's another $10 million that the ratepayers are going to be able to save. I have to tell you, these are significant savings to the people of our community. And we have been joined by these interventions by Doña Ana County. And I want to express my deep appreciation to our county commissioners for their partnership in this area. As interveners, we have used our separate legal teams strategically and for the great benefit to local residents. This is a good example of what public entities can do when they stand up for local residents in ways that it would be difficult for they themselves to do alone. Sometimes changes in processes point to new areas of emphasis in city policy. A little over a year ago, City Manager Eid reorganized city administration to create a Department for Economic Development. And by the end of this year, Las Cruces businesses will have access to all permit and licensing services through an efficient, centralized service center. This has been a goal for me and for our councilors for the last several years, and we appreciate the progress that has been made in so many areas of service to our business community. I can't keep drinking water every time you guys clap. That's a lot. This commitment to service is part of our even larger change in the focus for the city, one that I believe will be a major step forward for everyone. You may remember that the past State of the City addresses, I've expressed hope that residents contacting the city would someday receive the same level of customer service that they would receive from a five-star hotel. Well, the council took me up on my word and recently revised our city mission statement to read: the mission of the City of Las Cruces is to provide customer-focused services to residents, businesses, and guests so they can experience a quality of place to live, work, and play. There are two important elements in this statement. The first is to view residents as valued customers when they interact with the city. This represents a change in orientation compared to how many other cities operate. Instead of instituting top-down procedures and endlessly explaining to residents why the rules have to be the way that they are, staff has committed themselves to looking at every process and procedure from the resident's point of view, with the goal of top-level service for everyone coming into contact with the city. To support that commitment, City Manager Eid has instituted a peak performance plan for city staff in which progress on city priorities is assessed and evaluated with clear measurement standards so that we can determine whether or not these goals have been accomplished. We're also encouraging immediate feedback on city performance. A new Ask Las Cruces mobile app provides easy access forms to report problems or complaints, which is then routed to the proper department for faster service. A new email has been set up called quality of place at lascruces.org. This is available prominently on our city's website, so residents can write directly to city staff. In both cases, our goal is to acknowledge receipt of this message within 24 hours and to track each communication until the issue is resolved. Has anyone used it yet? No? Okay. The second part of the mission statement refers to creating a high quality of place for our residents. This includes the development of much that I mentioned earlier, like our new plaza and active downtown, our parks and recreational facilities, our new walking paths, and community schools. There's something else, though, that goes into the quality of place that's important, and it's what the choir sang to us about today. It's something that I thought about over my lifetime here in the city. I thought about it especially during my father's illness, as we experienced not just professionalism from the medical staff that attended to us, but real personal caring as well. I think about it, too, as we remember Councilor Pedrosa, who always recognized the realness and importance of everyone that she met. The people Olga served weren't constituents to her so much as fellow human beings and important co-creators of this life that we get to share together. So even as we strive for excellence in customer service, I know that the people of this community are much more than passive consumers. We are the owners, custodians, and guiding force of this complex human endeavor that we call the City of Las Cruces. We are the ones charged with creating this reality that we inhabit and ultimately responsible for what becomes of it. At the most basic level, of course, we choose our board of directors for the enterprise, selecting our mayor and council in elections held every 2 years. Councilors, in turn, make the policy decisions that set direction for the city. All of this occurs within a larger context of who we are as a community and the kind of relationships that we seek with one another. For the past decade that I've served as mayor, and in an evolution supported by successive elections, our residents have guided us toward ever deeper relationship with one another and ever higher aspirations for what a city can be. One of those directions have been toward more open and transparent government, where all residents are fully informed about opportunities and challenges that the city is facing. It's based on our belief that better decisions are made when everyone participates, and we participate more effectively when everyone has a chance to be fully informed. This commitment to transparency and full participation is embedded in all that we do. As we go through the Plan for Las Cruces process, it's hard to open up the Sun News without seeing an article about meetings and workshops to plan area transit or community development, or to set neighborhood priorities for any general obligation bond that we might decide to pursue. The key questions that we keep asking our residents in dozens of different ways are, what does quality of place mean for you? And what steps can we do together to make this vision a reality? Some shared understandings of the quality of place have found a place in decisions that we've made. Not surprisingly, they reflect long-term community values of respect and openness, and a deepening interest in one another and the substance of our lives. A few years ago, we decided, and we have reaffirmed in subsequent elections, that we want a fair hourly wage for all of our workers. You guys are supposed to clap after I finish. For all who care for our children and elders, who prepare our food, who stock our store shelves, for those who build the structures of our city, and who keep them in good repair. We decided, too, on an economic policy that prioritizes local businesses, the entrepreneurs who have elected to make their homes here, and join us daily in building a strong community. We want to take advantage of local strengths like our workers' hard work and ingenuity, our close proximity to a rapidly expanding industry along our southern border, our great state university and federal facilities, and our local agriculture and beautiful public lands. We're eager to welcome new companies, of course, but we understand that their coming here is dependent on the quality of life and schools, and the readiness and productivity of our workforce. This, too, is a challenge that we're meeting together as our business community, educators, and nonprofits work to develop a real pathway of success for our children. Lori Martinez of the Success Partnership and Tracy Bryan of the Bridge of Southern New Mexico are two key leaders in this important initiative. And although they can't be with us here today, I would like to publicly thank them for the work that they do. Our goal for the development as a whole, as envisioned in the Plan for Las Cruces planning process, is to build a healthy community with economic prosperity and sustainable growth, all occurring within a context that reflects the character of our community. This, in turn, requires nurturing vital relationships with ourselves and the environment that we live in, with the present moment and future generations of all the people who share our daily lives. So when we talk about improved customer service, what we're really talking about is the quality of our relationships. In this case, between a city staff member and the resident he or she serves. It's the same quality of relationship that we aspire to be with everyone, fellow human beings experiencing the uniqueness and the opportunity of each moment together, along with our very human ability to solve problems with creativity and respect. I'm not saying that all this will be easy. Some things can be taken care of quickly, and other things are harder to figure out. There are bound to be differences of opinion. One neighbor might want codes to make another neighbor cut their weeds, while the other neighbor probably wants codes to just go away. When we depend on long-term capital of our relationships with one another, which is what any community of people ultimately has. Quality of place then comes not just from new buildings or brilliant sunsets, but from the richness of the lives that we've lived together. From the thousands of human moments that we share, it comes from our willingness to be important to others and to allow others to be important to us. That's why we want our planning and development to consistently facilitate human contact rather than limit it. We want our decision-making to include more people rather than less. We want higher rather than lower incomes for our neighbors and an ever-improving opportunities for all. I mentioned earlier our commitment to open government and transparency. In 2017, Las Cruces was named the most transparent city in the state by the New Mexico Foundation for Open Government. I mentioned our commitment to financial stewardship and administrative excellence. Last year, Wallet Hub named Las Cruces the 6th best-run city in the country. And number 1 in the state, by the way. So, that's why Mayor Keller from Albuquerque, he's not here. I'm just kidding. He just took over. The same organization named us the safest city in New Mexico as we experienced a 6% decrease in both violent and property crime during 2017, when the rest of the state was actually increasing. We are used to being named a top location for retirement. Last year, we were named by Good Call as one of the best cities for teachers K through 12 to live here. Statistics change from year to year, and it's hard to know what to make of these rankings. But I'm proud that others are aware of what we're doing as a city. At a time when government is being questioned and demeaned at a national level, top performance is important. Our achievements demonstrate on a daily basis what can be accomplished together, and what a strong force shared commitment can be. In a larger cultural climate of distraction and division, I'm glad that we've chosen to keep reinvesting in ourselves and in one another, deepening the human ties that bind us and give meaning to our lives. I'm reassured that we keep finding more to appreciate in our neighbors. I'm proud that we remain a city open and committed to everyone, whatever our age or gender or ethnicity, our citizenship status or religion, whether we're grouchy or good-natured or just busy, however we might seek happiness or choose others to love. It is because of these qualities of our community and the shared work, hard work that have made our achievements possible that I stand before you today and declare with confidence that the state of our city is strong. That's why I look forward with so much excitement to our future together and such eagerness with much still to come. I want to thank again the Singing Out Choir for your wonderful performance. I want to thank all of you for making this a great city. I want to thank you for your friendship and kindness to my family during this past couple months. And I also want to thank you for the opportunity to serve as your mayor. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, well, thank you very much. You know, before you all rush back to work, there's just a couple things I'd like to, feel free to sit down. I just want to mention a couple friends who visited from El Paso. Our good friend, Mayor Oscar Leeser, thank you for showing up. Mayor John Cook. I think we'll be calling him County Judge Cook, but thanks for showing up. And I saw El Paso Commissioner Carlos Leon. Thank you, Commissioner. Is that the Mayor Javier Perea? Yeah, okay. He's looking a little bit older. That's good. I mean, he was looking pretty young there when he first got elected. And then our good friends from the Consul General of Mexico's office, Ricardo Hernandez, Deputy General Counsel. And I think that's all that drove more than, who? Oh, well, she's right down the street. I lump her in, I'm gonna lump her in with Mayor Ruben Smith. Now we're going to get to our local elected officials. So Mayor Ruben Smith, thank you, Mayor, for... Of course, Mayor Nora Barraza from Mesilla. And let's see here, we've got our County Commission Chair, Ben Rawson. Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Billy Garrett, thank you. State Senator Jeff Steinborn, thank you. Senator. Oh, I'm sorry. Also representing the Mayor of Juarez, Arturo Ramos. Thank you, Mayor. County Clerk Scott Kraling, thank you. Deputy Assessor Paul Ponce, thank you, Paul. And I think that's really, as far as elected officials, or Nathan? Is he here, Nathan? Nathan, here. Nathan's like a kid brother to me, and I always tell him, you need to be here on time, Nathan, Councilman Representative. Thanks for joining us, Representative. Really proud of you and all that you do. And of course, his wife, Xochitl Small. Xochitl Torres Small, where's Xochitl? Wow, she gave up her seat to go back with her husband. That's good. Again, there's some refreshments outside. Thank you again so much for coming here today. It's really been fun. I hope you enjoyed the music, and thank you again. It was just great. Looking forward to winter concert again. Thanks again. Thanks, everyone.
Na 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 na